So welcome to another edition of the Cultivating Tradition podcast. This is a very special edition because we're filming from Beijing. We're here to attend the World Conference of Traditional Medicine, co-organized by Beijing and the World Health Organization.
Yes.
So we'll be speaking a little bit about our impressions of that later. But I'm here to talk to Wu Kai.
Yes.
Wu Kai is an anthropologist, and
Okay.
I met him here, and it sounded really fascinating, the kind of work that he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
He is an anthropologist who primarily studies the development of Chinese medicine in other countries,
Yes.
apart from China, particularly the West.
Yes, yes.
And I was very surprised to discover
Yeah.
he has a museum
Yes.
about Chinese medicine,
Yes.
development of Chinese medicine in the UK,
Yeah, part of them.
part
Yeah.
of the
Part of
museum.
them. Yeah.
So what I'd like to start with is just to ask you, Wu Kai, if you can introduce yourself and
Okay.
tell us how you got interested in the anthropology of Chinese medicine from Western countries.
Okay.
And maybe a little bit about your museum as well.
Okay. So I introduce myself. It's like I will study biology from bachelor degree to PhD. So after that, I think I'm not very happy on this major. I like this major, but I don't like the labor work. I don't like cultivate some things like that. So after I went to Yunnan University of TCM in 2011. I stay in I get a position in Chinese herb medicine school there for 2 years. I did some field work to collecting the herbs and do some kind of works on the herbs work and teach on herbs. And after that, I met a professor from France. He was a anthropology. He studied the transmission of Chinese medicine in France. And also one day he gave me like the key to open, because that time I'm living in the school, in the campus. I don't have my independent room. I live in the campus, living in the like a student's room for the teacher.
Yeah.
So one day I don't have the place to take bus. So the professor gave me the key to his room to take the bus, and I saw he has so many collections from the West, especially from Soulie de Mourant.
Okay.
So that time I asked him what's this, and most of things from 100 years ago.
Wow.
That is why I never saw before. I never saw it in China before.
So for some of our viewers, they may not know who Soulie de Morant is.
I didn't know.
This is your new book, which is about Soulie de Morant,
Yes.
called The Father of Acupuncture in Europe and the Transmission of Chinese Medicine in the West. So for people who don't know, who is it Georges Soulie de Morant?
That time, this book edited by myself and my students, and that time I don't know who is Soulie de Morant. I don't know. Most Chinese people don't know. So Dr. Hoting tell us who is him and what he did, because that time he was the embassy in Yunnan. He studied acupuncture from Beijing, Shanghai, and Yunnan. So he take some traditional acupuncture things to the West. And at that time, I know nothing. I just think, okay, he has so many things, very rare things I never saw, like the passports.
Show the camera, yeah.
The huge passports, like this big. That is from Qing Dynasty. And his uniform as a French embassy, and this is the painting, Chinese big painting by himself. I think that's the only painting in the world with the Western face in it. So that time I feel it's like, for me it's the very
when did Soulie de Morant come to China?
Well, it's about 1901.
Right.
To Beijing, first. Amazing. To Hong Kong, to Wuhan and to Beijing. He met the one guy who used acupuncture to stop the clonal virus. It's like at that time they have some problem transferred from India to China. It's like how say it? It's a cholera.
Cholera.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the cholera. Some people die, but Soulie Mourant saw the Chinese people use not Western medicine but use acupuncture to stop the shake of the people. So I think that is why he trusted, because he never saw some people use medicine in the street. He saw his colleagues and someone treated by the Chinese doctor. So he followed the doctor and followed another doctor in Shanghai. I think some people don't trust the stories. After COVID-19, I trust it.
Really?
Yeah, I think the disease or the pandemic can change the world.
Wow.
So I think that is the true story, because he saw something, opened his mind.
So you were in the Yunnan University
Of Chinese medicine, yeah.
and you came across someone who showed you their collection of items from Soulie de Mourant.
Yes.
And what happened next after this?
Next, we have the museum.
Yeah.
And each year we have the conference. Lots of foreigners come to Yunnan and tell us their experience in how they use acupuncture, how they use the Chinese knowledge to change the Western mind. So in that time, in the past 100 years, Chinese people think Western always right.
Right.
That is the Chinese new tradition.
Yeah.
Anything from the Western, like science, like everything is good. So that is first time because I study biology. Biology is from the West.
Yes.
Yeah. So that time they give me some ideas why everything from the West is the right things, why the Chinese things cannot be trust or confident to the world.
Yeah.
So that is I totally changed my mind from these stories and from the collections from the museum and also the professor Hoting.
This is so interesting.
Yeah.
Because it's something I think is a very important thing to come to the world. But the first time I came to China, in fact to Beijing, first time I came to China was Beijing in 1997.
1997.
I was only 18 years old on my gap year.
Yes.
And after that I spent a number of years going to China, Taiwan.
Yes.
And I found that a lot of East Asian people would have that mentality. They would be put their own culture down and maybe a little bit worship the West,
Yeah.
However, I feel like things have changed a lot in 30 years. Things have changed.
Yes.
And I think, just looking at this conference we just had,
really.
there's so much more confidence in how great this cultural tradition is, something that you can be so proud of.
Yeah.
And that makes me very happy because I think that it's something that I have a great love of. I want to see succeed myself. But it's so interesting to hear you express that actually having these stories people coming from around the world to your conference to share in something that they love from China, in respect from Chinese culture.
Yes.
Yeah.
And but the first time I went to the UK is 2011.
Yeah.
That time I was a biologist. I went to Cambridge for a conference, a biologist conference. That time it's my first time to the UK. I love the country. I love the. I went to London. I went to the Cambridge. So I think that all the place like a big museum, British people keep the culture and history very well.
Yeah.
Any place, any step in the street have something to show you what happened before. That is make me feel like why we don't have such things. I don't know the history of my city. I don't know the history of something. We missed the culture. So that's also for myself is like the nation reality. Like I began to think about who I am, where we are, where is the China.
I understand.
So, that is, I think, that is why you have such feeling, because that time Chinese people think the Western always right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I think more and more people trust the Chinese cultures, trust the Chinese products, trust more things than before. So that I think that your feeling is what I feel also about that. Yeah.
No, very interesting. It reminds me, actually, you remind me of Joseph Needham, because, if people who may not be aware, Joseph Needham was a biochemist.
Yes.
And he started, amazingly, studying biochemistry, I think, in 1918. But he ended up spending some time in China.
Yes.
And by 1948, he was completely obsessed with Chinese culture.
Yes.
He realized that China had this great scientific and technological legacy. And it's because of Joseph Needham that we have that long list of inventions that the Chinese invented this, the Chinese invented that. And he devoted his life to cataloging all of the scientific and technological history of China.
Yes.
In a multi-volume series called The Science and Civilization of China.
Yes.
But yeah, I just thought that, and it's very, very important, I think, and it's something that's vital for our understanding of Chinese medicine, because that same very high level scientific and technological level that the Chinese were able to attain, it's the same mind, the same intelligence that was applying itself to medicine. A lot of people don't realize that medicine is an advanced technology. So I just thought that it's a bit reflective of your life, because you started out as a biologist
Okay.
and then became an anthropologist and wanted to understand the development of Chinese medicine.
Yeah, I think Needham is a great man. I didn't know his life before. After I read his diary and saw his pictures from the museum in Britain, in Cambridge.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that time, yes, he just tried in the different way to collect all the things in different parts of China, and I think he want to answer some question. Did China have the real science?
Yes.
Yeah. So he just give any place to go to the temple, to go to different parts of China, to know the past, to know the present. He met the Chinese scientists, the Chinese new knowledge, technology.
Yeah.
That time, that was about 80 years ago. 80 years ago, right? In the World War II.
Yeah.
He helped the Chinese people a lot. That time. He also give some, like, Chinese people never thought about how Chinese science or Chinese technology is so great. I think Needham give the answer to the Chinese people from the Western eyes. That is also very important that time. Even now, he have a lot of books on Chinese culture and technique and science. And also I remember that is the name. The book's name is the lesson of the heaven or something like that. It's all about the acupuncture.
Oh, Celestial Lancets.
Yeah,
is the name. So there's a
so
volume.
sorry, yeah.
Oh no, that's fine. A volume
Yeah.
on Chinese medicine,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
called Celestial Lancets.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
it was completed after his death, because
Yeah.
this project
Yes.
of cataloging the scientific and technological history of China is such a big project that it took
Very
over
big,
his life.
Very big.
What's interesting about this is that Needham, from my perspective, I understood him as someone who really told the West about China's scientific accomplishment.
Yes.
But hearing from our conversations, what's very interesting is he's quite important to the Chinese people.
Yes.
Because of the way that he put the knowledge together.
Yes.
Enabled Chinese people to understand their own history,
Yes.
but also be able to articulate it, explain it to other cultures.
And another thing is very important to us is he recorded something Chinese people cannot. That time he have the photographs. He write down all the things in his diary. So that times, because China have the war, so all the people just think about how to survive.
Yeah.
So he have the different way to see the world. So he took some pictures in the place near my university, a Confucius temple. That time was there was the institute to study the socialism society of the population or something, and he have some like the photos that time. After that, some temples were destroyed, some kind of things, some buildings destroyed or rebuilt. So we don't know what happened before. So that is also very important to us. He records something in the past. We don't know, and he write down many details. Who eat the dinner with him? Who sat there opposite him? The name, and what all the people's name he write down. So that is very important for us. It's like that is the president of the university. This is the vice president. This is the famous scientist. That is famous literature person. That is famous professor, like that. So I also understand what kind of person he met, and what kind of knowledge he may get from this person, because they are top historian, top scientist at that time in China. He gets the top knowledge at that time. And also I think all the people that time will tell him where to go next, where to go. Because that time, many universities from Beijing, from Shanghai, moved to Yunnan, because they cannot stay here. Japanese people take over these parts.
Oh, I see.
So all the things changed to there. All the brains changed to there.
So you're saying that in order to preserve the culture during the Japanese occupation, a lot of the intellectuals, a lot of the universities moved west. And so that
the great brain in there, in China,
that's something I didn't know about that period. So that meant that actually Yunnan became a center of intellectual.
In China, that time, yes. Okay. We call it Xinan Lianda, because three important universities come together to the southwest of China, and Joseph went there, met the top scientist, met the top person
now
there.
It starts to make sense. I see that he went there.
So
there's something very special. You have Soulie de Mourant, you have Joseph Needham.
We don't have Joseph Needham's collections.
But I mean, he went to Yunnan.
He went to Yunnan. Yes.
So what's your hope for your work and for the museum for the future? What do you hope to achieve as you go along in the future?
Yes, because this year is my first year after COVID-19 to go abroad.
Okay.
During the 3 or 4 years, I think I feel not very happy, because I cannot meet my foreign friends. Yeah. And I cannot experience the foreign cultures. That is my disappointed on that time. So right now I feel more and more happy. I went to Rothenburg this year. Yeah. I feel I met a lot of like Chinese medicine practitioners there, because Rothenburg is very famous place. Many people like G.R. Worsley, Felix Mann, and Van Buren went there. Peter Dedeman, I met Peter Dedeman this time, and also your professor Volker Scheid. I met there. So I think that was a very important part in the Europe. The Rothenburg.
Volker's very important on a previous one of our Cultivating Tradition podcasts, because he's an anthropologist himself and a Chinese medicine practitioner. That's true. And Volker has always said to me and many other people that the humanities have to be supported. The importance of anthropology in order for us to understand the depth and the context of our medicine, the history, and that also improves our practice. So this is something that he's always been very keen on.
Yeah, so I think why you use the video to record some people, so maybe because you have some kind of tradition, the anthropological traditions from your professor.
Yes.
So I think
probably some influence from
Volker,
yeah.
You don't know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that is why you do the ways I used to use. Yeah. That also make me record the time I went to the UK. The first time I met I'm in the London with Nora Franklin.
Okay.
Who was practiced the 5 elements.
Yes.
I met her before I went to the UK in Guangxi, because that is in China, that is the Western treats of Chinese medicine. All the people in the class think what Nora did is more traditional than what the students learned in Chinese medicine school. So that is, they think, okay, what the Yellow Emperor said in the Beijing, what is the Nora said, not our textbook said. Some students, even professors, followed Nora's idea and trust her very much. So that's years from Guangxi to Beijing. Even Beijing have a big group of the 5 elements students, and to Shanghai, even Yunnan. I think in China maybe now around 3,000 or 5,000 students have the 5 elements training.
Very interesting.
Yeah. So the first time we have the project, because that time we need to apply some of fundings from what you like to do. So we have the first fundings we get is the transmission of Chinese medicine in France. That is the professor get. So the second year, he want to do another things, like, okay, we do the 5 elements, because 5 elements is in the UK. So we write down the project to study UK. That is the second project we have. But they don't have any person can speak English and can a single man can go easily to the abroad. So I'm the right person to go. I like the foreign culture, and I'm not afraid of the foreigners. And I have been to the UK 2 years ago that time, and so I'm the right person to go. So I just contacted to a professor in Manchester, and then I registered in Manchester and stay there for half year. During the weekend, I go to different place and make a phone call first to order what time I go, and sometimes they don't allow me to go. And after I met the Nora, I went to your council. Yeah, that time I took the pictures. I show you. That is a lot of persons. Yeah. Nick, the CEO is Nick.
That's right.
Nick.
Yeah.
So they also invite me to different parts, because I think they are all the borders are the head of some kind of university or the CEO or some for some colleges. So they invite me to go different parts. So I went to North the North College,
Northern College of
Acupuncture, and Reading, integrated.
So really, you've got to know our approach to acupuncture very well, and I think that it is interesting how once the Chinese medicine goes to a different country, it can develop in a different way.
Yes.
And then sometimes those approaches then influence practice of Chinese medicine back in China. And I think that's happened. It's happened across East Asia. It's happened from Korea. It's happened from Vietnam and Japan. It's something that happens with them, because fundamentally this medicine is a human medicine. It applies to human beings, and when it goes through someone else's mind from a different culture, you see different parts of it, which is really fascinating. To conclude the discussion, we've just been to this big global conference. It had thousands of attendees from all over the world. It was a conference on traditional medicine. As I say, co-organized by Beijing and the WHO. So a big focus on traditional Chinese medicine. But there are representatives from other kinds of traditional medicines there. So I'm just interested now. This is a big conference, Chinese medicine, people all around the world. What was your impression from it? What did you learn, and what did you appreciate?
Well, for me, I think the first time I know the conference, I think I need to go. Even I pay by myself. Even I cannot go. I will stay here to get some chance to go inside, because I think that conference, maybe not everyone can go inside. It's the top professor and top the
representatives of each organization and government.
Yes. So because I'm just going with the training class in Beijing, and after that I try to apply like the volunteers to help them. They need people, so I get like free hotel or something, and then I get the. Also, I register a little bit. They give me pass to go there. So I'm very happy to meet my old friends, lots of old friends and new friends, and also I think this conference is more for like natural science. More they do is because I think they have the WHO background or because WHO is more trusted evidence-based science like that. So it's not anthropological studies. So most of the meetings, the panels I heard is more for the like the science science studies. I'm also can get some kind of interest with this. I know who do this, what kind of the studies, why they are very important, how to make the things be trust in this way for the other world. So this I also for me I also make some new friends. I had some new friends from South American, that is I never been, and also from Middle East, and from African. I never have the friends from that area, so I have new friends, and because I like to traveling, I can try to visit there for future.
Well, yeah, I agree. Actually, I think that one of the important things about these conferences is that we get a chance to actually see what's happening around the world. We can learn from each other, make those connections. And I'm especially hopeful of how strongly the WHO wants to support traditional medicine. And traditional Chinese medicine is a big part of that. I think the WHO really understands the importance of it and the depth of it.
I think WHO have another task to protect the intangible culture heritage. That is another part. That is more culture parts. So if in our Congress have these parts, I think it's all also very interesting. How to protect the intangible things, intangible culture things. So
and this is something that I think that the Chinese are very proud and respectful of their own traditional culture, and I'm very happy to see that too, because I think it will end up promoting Chinese medicine so that more people can understand it and more people can benefit from it too. So hopefully I'm quite optimistic about things after the conference. But it's been a really fascinating conversation,
Yes.
and I think that it's really nice to hear that there is interest both ways. You know, most of our members in our organization, the people watching, we're thinking about, well, they already have an interest in Chinese medicine, but to hear that there is also interest from China in the way that Chinese medicine has developed in the West is something that was a little bit unexpected, actually.
Yeah.
I think that this anthropology project that you've been working on has a lot of resonance with this podcast.
Yeah.
And in the future, we'll be interviewing many of the figures that you've talked about.
Yes.
And the ones that are still alive that can continue to tell us about how Chinese medicine is involved and their place in that tradition. So we look forward to that. But
Yes.
In the meantime, thank you very much, Wukai. This has been an absolutely fascinating talk.
Thank you very much too.
And,
it's given me a chance to record the beautiful country I think the Britain is my other homeland. It's like I take just half years there, but I think I will take half my life to remember.
Wonderful. Well, you are always welcome, Wukai. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.